Schleiter with Howdini.com, and today I'm going to show you how to plant a perennial. It's very easy to do and can add a lot of beauty to your property. First thing that you need to do is choose some plants, make sure they're appropriate for the site. If it's a sunny place, get plants for the sun. If it's shady, get something for the shade. And also find out if it's a very dry spot or a wet spot. No matter what the site conditions are, there's going to be a perfect plant for you if you do a little bit of research. You need a shovel or a trowel. These are small, so I'm going to use a trowel today. Another thing you'll need is some compost. It's wonderful for the soil. It adds organic material which helps the soil keep the moisture through the hot summer, and it helps your plants just grow beautifully and nice and healthy and happy. There are different sorts of compost that you can get, or you can make your own. This beautiful compost here is homemade. It's lovely, granular. You can feel that it's just all full of organic material, old vegetables and leaves and things like that that have been allowed to sit for a while until they decay and become compost. If you don't have the space or the time to make your own compost, you can buy it at most garden centers. There's all sorts of different varieties, some made from fish and blueberries, some made even from cow manure, and all of them work very well. The first thing we're going to do in an established garden bed like this one is scrape away the mulch. You want to make sure that you're planting your plant in the soil, not in the mulch, which will not retain moisture the same way that soil will. And then when you're done planting, you're going to surround the plant with it again, so it can keep on holding the moisture in the soil for you. Dig a hole that is about twice as wide as the plant. So that looks like it's about 4 or 5 inches. So we're going to dig a foot wide hole or so. And it's going to be just as deep as the plant is tall. And that's just about as big a hole as we need. So now we're going to amend both in the hole and what you're going to backfill with some of this lovely compost. What I mean by amend is to add anything to your soil. Compost is good to add to just about any sort of soil. But if you have soil that's very hard and it's not draining well, you might want to add some small gravel or a little bit of very large coarse sand as well as some compost to help it drain a little bit better. So there's lots of things you can add into your soil to get it to be just what you need for your plants to grow beautifully. Now we're going to release this from its pot. Sometimes if plants have been in the pot for a long time, they can be all root bound or even roots coming out of the bottom, and a little bit of a squeeze just helps loosen it so that it comes out easily. Now you want to tease the roots. Make sure that you have no roots going around and round inside the pot, so the roots are all ready to go out into the soil of the garden and spread out and make a happy plant. There you go. Now hold it in place, making sure, I got to backfill a little bit, making sure that the crown of the plant where it is level with the soil in the pot is the same place that you're planting it in the garden. When in doubt, raise it up. You want to make sure that you not have your crown underground or it's going to rot and your plants just aren't going to do well at all. There we go. Now we've got the right height, so I'm just going to backfill. Now one of the reasons that you make the hole as wide, or twice as wide, is so that you can amend a large area of soil. If you just amend a tight little hole, you're not encouraging the roots to grow out into the garden. You want to, the bigger the root system, the healthier the plant. Now we're going to pull the mulch back over. And there you have it. You want to make sure when you're placing the plants in the garden that you have them far enough apart so that when they grow to their mature size, they're not going to be on top of each other. It can save you money in the long run because you're not planting too many plants. And it just really, although the first year it might look a little like there's too much space in between, you'll be so much happier in the long run. You won't have to divide. It's really worth it. The last step after planting is to give the garden a nice drink. The plants need some good water to help them get established. You want to make sure that you water thoroughly. I know it's tempting with a handheld watering wand like this one to just wet the top of the surface and go, but you really need to water for quite a while to get all the way down to the roots. A good way to tell if your garden needs water is to stick your finger down into it. And if you could stick your finger down up to your middle knuckle and it's dry, you need to water. A good rule of thumb is a ½ inch to an inch a week, depending on where you live and how hot it is, what time of year. But that counts rain too. So if you have a good rainstorm, you probably don't need to water that week. And really the first season is the most important for watering. After that, a lot of plants will become quite established and will need a lot less water. And there you have it, some beautiful perennials to add loveliness to your garden. I'm Kristin Schleiter with Howdini.com.